Welcome back, guys. We got some more Dropzone Commander for you today. This time it will be the United Colonies of Man versus the Scourge. I didn't hardly get all my stuff painted, but most of it is painted. We'll walk you down the armies first. We're playing land grab, so a target of opportunity or a focal point in the center, and then one in each quarter. So we got one in that building, one in that building, one in the street here, and then one in the street here. The Scourge are deploying here. I direct deployed my Desolator and 2 Reaver gunships, and the UCM direct deployed their Kodiak, which is behind that small building on the end, and the Ferrum there in the street. Walk you down the rest of the armies. We both have level 4 commanders. For the Scourge, we have a group of 6 hunters and 2 marauders, 2 groups of 4 prowlers and 2 different intruders, 2 groups of 2 infantry in 2 intruders, and they have 3 reapers attached to them in a marauder. We have 3 more marauders in our second infantry group, or 3 more reapers in a marauder, and then we've got 2 groups of 3 infantry and invaders, and they are sharing a marauder. For the UCM half, we showed you the Kodiak and the Ferrum on the table. We have 1 full infantry group here. We have a Special Forces section, 2 Praetorian bases, and 4 Wolverines. We have 3 rapiers, or 3 sabers, and 2 longbows mounted up, and then 3 rapiers and 3 sabers in a second armored group, and then 2 archangels around the force out. So that's direct deployment, and we will roll for initiative, and then we'll see you at the bottom of turn 1. Alright, we're getting underway here. The Scourge moved on, moved pretty much everything straight up. Reaver gunships moved up, knocked 8 points out of that building. Commander flew up 12, dropped the Reapers and the Hunters. The Hunters played a Jink and Weave card, so they have +2 accuracy. And then we flew the Prowlers way over to this flank. The big infantry formation sailed up to here. They're actually sitting down on the table, but I couldn't hardly fit him there, and stayed in their ride. And the 2 light groups stayed in their intruders in reserve. So we will be back after turn 2. Oh, let me show you the UCM too while I'm at it. Wolverines came in, took this street, dropped a bunch of drones into the street. Sabers flew up and disembarked. Infantry pushing this flank. Ferrum and the Kodiak sat still. Kodiak knocked 1 hole out of that building in my deployment. That's for the sabers. The other sabers moved up here and dropped out, and the rapiers moved here and stayed in their transports, along with the howitzers and their ravens. So we will be back at the end of turn 2. Alright, turn 2 has come to an end. The Reaver gunships flew up here onto this building. One of them was shot down by reaction fire with a lucky hit from the Wolverines, and he crashed the last points out of the building when he landed on it. Lost 1 of the hunters. The hunters managed to kill 1 of the Wolverines. The Reavers got 2, and then the hunters also got 1 of the sabers. The last Wolverine peeled off down here. The drones repositioned to address the prowlers, which then flew up here into the center. And my infantry moved up and took that building for the moment. Special Forces hanging back there waiting for some damage to be done to the infantry, no doubt. So we will be back at the bottom of turn 3. Turn 3, mass carnage ensued. Reapers moved down here, killed half of the drones. The other half wheeled out here and finished off 1 of the surviving 2 hunters. We lost 2 hunters back here to the sabers. The last 2 hunters then moved up and fired and destroyed said sabers. And then these guys killed 1 of the hunters, and the Kodiak's spear from heaven destroyed the other. We did get incredibly lucky down here. Like I said, stuff died like crazy this turn. Praetorians are in the building now. We activated these infantry, came to the wall, blew up 1 of the longbows. This thing moved around, destroyed the other longbow. These infantry fired, and those 3 rapiers that had dropped out here destroyed all 3 of them. Got lucky and got 1 combined fire on every single rapier. And then lost 1 base to the surviving howitzer, which was then destroyed by this. We did, because all of his AA fell apart, this dropship blew up the last Wolverine. We moved the intruders up and dropped the prowlers next to the Ferrum. We're going to see who wins this battle for initiative. He moved his infantry here so he could fire some rockets down on me next turn, and moved out 4 more drones. So it's going to come down to who gets first activation and who's able to do their damage. That's it for right now. We will be back after the next turn. This city's starting to bleed, and we will be back next turn and show you how it's gone from here. Another bloody turn. The Desolator moved up there. You can notice there are yellow dots everywhere, damaged a bunch of buildings, and knocked 2 of the sabers out at the base of the building. The Special Forces came in there. We locked them up with 2 bases. The other 3 bases got in an invader and hauled themselves over here. The infantry obviously got wiped out by the Special Forces, but we killed off 1 base of the Special Forces with razor wings. And the other base came down here. We moved up here. These infantry dropped out. This was where the fun happened this turn. These infantry dropped out. His Ferrum brought all of its drones up here, and they fired in on my prowlers and killed 5 of them. The other 3 charged the Ferrum, and they're between that and the intruders' plasma hoses, they were able to destroy the Ferrum. These guys were able to finish off the prowlers and kill 1 of the intruders. Fired a bunch of plasma nozzles at his commander, but weren't able to do any damage. The Reapers moved up, fired here, took some points out. These 2 moved up. His infantry Condor was splitting over here to drop the bears off on a focal point. We destroyed it, and I rolled a 6, so killed everybody in the air. My 2 bases of intruder mounted infantry are still in reserve, and that's about it. We will be back after turn, let's see, this was 4. We're back after turn 5. We are moving into the bottom, or the final turn, and this one has been a bloodbath. The infantry moved here and deployed into this building. Fast movers knocked the 5th out of 6 points out of my commander, so he's just about had it. We've got 2 Reapers on this focal point. He's moved some infantry with an underground monorail to get closer. Those fired on a dropship to no effect. All the dropships clustered around his commander and started shooting. Managed to get 1 point total. So not a lot happened that turn. It looks like that one and that one are falling to UCM hands. This one is for the Scourge right now. This one's still kind of iffy. And this one is probably for the Scourge as well. So we will be back after turn 6 to let you see how things have ended up. Turn 6 has ended with a 10-7 Scourge victory. The UCM and the Scourge are both contesting that one, but the UCM has more points. UCM's holding that one in a flat hold, as the Scourge are with this one. Also flew on my intruders over here and deployed those infantry out to take that one. And then this one I have more points. His infantry are within range. So that will be a 10-7 Scourge victory. An absolute bloodbath compared to what we normally do between the UCM and Shaltari, with us just dancing around each other. So this was a nice change of pace. It was a lot of fun. I'm sure he'll be playing the Scourge against my Shaltari at some point as well. So stay tuned for more games. And as always, follow the link to the blog for Army thoughts and Army lists and post-action reviews. Thanks for watching, guys, and look forward to more.